Hello, welcome to another How to Code Well YouTube tutorial. My name's Peter Fisher. This is the 9th tutorial now in the Docker container series, and today I'm going to show you how you can easily identify the container that you're currently working on. If you have a lot of containers, for example, a lot of containers running, or just containers to deal with, it can be a little bit tricky to work out which container you're actually inside. So there are various ways to get around that, but I'll just do an example just to show you. If I was to do a docker run -it, we're going to use the ubuntu image, and I'm just going to go into the bash shell. Now I've already got ubuntu the image here, so that will just quickly create one. So here we can see that we're into this container. This is the container ID, and let's do an exit. And let's run another one, and exit, and let's run another one, and exit. Now notice that each one has obviously a different container ID, and this container ID is automatically created for us. We don't actually have much control over this. But if you've got, say, 3 or 4 or 5 or even more containers that you're working on all the time, it can be a little bit tricky to remember which container is which when you're just diving in and out. Obviously, we can do a docker ps -a, and we can list all the containers here with the container IDs and so forth. That's all well and good, and we can also give the names, change the name of these containers, which I've showed you before. That's fine. That's all well and good when you're outside of the containers, but when you're actually inside the containers and you can't remember if that one is that one or that one is this one, then it can be a little bit tricky to remember that. So a solution is to change the host name of the container, and so you can quickly identify where it is you are. So what I can do, well, let's just remove these for now, just to give us some room. So docker rm, let's remove them by the container IDs. So that one and this one, like so. Let's just do a docker ps, make sure they have all gone. Docker ps, like so. Good. Clear that down and do a docker run. I'm going to do a --- help because we're going to use another argument which I want to explain. So the argument that we're going to give is -h or -- host name. So this gives the container its own host name. So let's clear this down and do a docker run -it again to get it into interactively, and then a -h or a -- host name, and we give the host name here. I'm going to do test.local, and then the Ubuntu image, and we're just going to go into the bash shell. So let's just press enter, and we can see now that we have root at test. So test is the alias of test.local. Test.local was the host name. If I was to do cat, where is it? etc hosts, I think it is, with an S. Yeah. So we can see that we have this entry in this in the hosts file, test.local, and alias to test. Okay, so that's a very quick, easy way of creating containers which are slightly more identifiable. One thing I should note is if I was to exit this and do a docker ps again, we haven't actually, sorry, a docker ps -a, we haven't actually changed the ID or the name of the container. But if we were to do a docker, I'm going to have to start this, docker start, what is it called, this container, and then a docker exec -it of that container, and then we're just going to jump into bash, like so. We can see that the host, the alias here is correct, and that's what it was set beforehand. So even though we've changed the container host, we haven't actually changed the container ID, nor have we changed the name, as I've showed you in a previous tutorial. But I hope that helps. If you've got a lot of containers, then this is a great way of easily identifying when you're within the container, which container you're actually in. So you could have, like, at MySQL or at Apache or whatever. The next couple of tutorials down the line, they're going to look at Docker environments, as environment variables, as well as Docker volumes and so forth. So do subscribe to pick those up. Leave a comment in the comment section below if you've got a question or just a general comment. I do appreciate those. I do pick those up and try and get back to you as soon as I can. Do subscribe, like I said, to pick up the next tutorials. Like this video if you found it useful, and share it around if you think someone else could benefit from it. Thanks again for watching. My name, as always, is Peter Fisher. You can catch me on Twitter at PFWD. Thanks again, and I will see you soon.